What's up, y'all? Thank you for tuning in tonight on the Walk-Ons radio show. Today, we got a lot to talk about today. As for the March Madness is around the corner. Well, it's here now. And we'll talk about some O.J. Simpson, about that beautiful interview he did beautiful back in 2006.
All right.
First time I've seen it, so let's go ahead and get started. Show number 50, March Madness 2018.
The chapter 6, is called The Night in Question.
Don't play it yet. Good start, though. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for watching and listening to the Walk-Ons radio show on podcast and on Facebook and on Twitter and on YouTube. On the table today, we got Robbie.
Great to be back with you on the Walk-On.
We got Gary.
Our guy is in the house.
And we got Opie.
Go Hope.
And we got Megan.
Hello, everybody.
And last but not least, we got Chris.
What's going on, y'all?
Or Cotty Chris, if you want to call him. From
Cali Chris.
We got a lot to discuss today. As for the March Madness, is here now. We got a lot of teams that will be making some noise, possibly. We got some snubs that we're going to talk about, too. And we might even talk about the NIT for a brief moment.
Why?
Just for a brief.
South Carolina's
Why?
Just for a brief second.
not.
I ain't making no comments about that.
Not the girls, the boys.
Oh yeah, that too. And also we're gonna talk about NCAA women's bracket too. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And also, Tiger Woods had a great showing this past weekend. So we're gonna talk a little bit about Tiger Woods, his great place finish at the Valspar golf tournament, and he's favored to win this upcoming weekend for another golf tournament. So we'll talk about some Tiger Woods, and we're going to preview the food tripping, and also we're gonna play the Clemson chat today about Clemson being in the NCAA tournament. And then last but not least, we're going to talk to Coach Fry with Keeping It Real, and we'll probably talk about to see what he has winning or who he has winning for the NCAA tournament this upcoming week as they kick off on, I believe, Thursday or Friday?
Yep.
Yeah. So we'll talk to them about that today. Make sure you follow us on all of our social media, on Facebook and on Twitter. And make sure you download our podcast on iHeartRadio and on iTunes, as we are all on all the episodes from beginning to now. Make sure you go ahead and share that with us. And make sure you share that with your friends and family to get us out there. All right. So first, let's talk about the lovely interview that we saw this past week.
The chapter 6, is called The Night in Question.
Yeah, go ahead and play. This O.J. Simpson talking back in 2006 as basically he's pretty much confessing to the murder of his wife, or ex-wife, should I say, hypothetically. You'll see why in the video. Go ahead and play the video.
The chapter 6, is called The Night in Question. And you write in the book, now picture this and keep in mind that this is
purely
hypothetical. Hypothetical. Why don't you tell me what might have happened on the night of June 12th, 1994? And let's just walk through the night.
Well, first of all, this is very difficult for me to do this. It was very difficult for me because it's hypothetical. I know and I accept the fact that people are going to feel whatever way they're going to feel. They're going to, whatever they want to feel. In the book, the hypothetical is
Charlie pulls it up.
Charlie came by and mentioned something about what was going on at her house. This guy Charlie shows up, the guy who I had recently become friends with, and I don't know why he had been by Nicole's house, but it told me you wouldn't believe what's going on over there. And I remember thinking, well, whatever's going on over there has got to stop.
All right, come back to it. So, watching the whole interview from this past week, all I can do is sit down and shake your head like, okay, he's clearly confessing to the glove. He's confessing to what he would have done if he was at the murder scene, and then describing technically himself as Charlie, saying this is what he would have done. This is what happened. This is what I saw. This is how the glove fit.
He's psychotic.
Yeah.
My man said that he still goes to the grave and curses her out. If that doesn't tell you that he's crazy, like, I don't know what else will.
And then also on top of that, if a black guy laughs that many times during a confession, that's a sign of lying right there. I know how to lie. And laughing and giggling and not making no eye contact is a great
First 48
sign.
don't look nothing like that.
No.
Nothing
No.
like it.
He's a
what's your thought?
sociopath. Anyone that can just sit there and smile and laugh, he's a sociopath.
Yeah, I mean, he got away with murder. That's what that show called, How to Get Away with Murder, and that's clearly how he described. In his book, he described what he would have done if I did it. That's what the book was called. So,
Man, I'm the only one that was here. Like, maybe he like his, the role he played in what's that movie?
Naked Gun.
Naked Gun. I just feel like he was there, and it happened. He was like took it like his character. Oh,
It was out of body experience. It
Yeah.
wasn't really him.
no. Like I said, the sad thing is we only got his version. Two people here that could clarify and clean up some stuff. Not gonna be able to tell us. Not here. And
Well, the son was there too.
like I said, the son ain't gonna.
Saying.
I don't know. This is
Now,
not.
was the son there?
They're saying the son was there.
I don't. This is not important to me. Like even when it was going on, I'll never forget. We was in school. We was in middle school up here at St. Andrews, and they read the verdict, and everybody jumped up, and I was like, "What we jumping up for?" They was like, "OJ's free." I said, "Oh, okay, cool." Like it's I guess whatever gets you ratings. I could care less.
It does. It makes me wonder though, like what his kids had to say about this. 'Cause it's like you're literally live confessing what you did to him.
You all are probably a little young for this, but I'm telling you, I was in the middle of watching the NBA championship series between the Knicks and the Rockets when the Bronco
Yeah,
took
the
off.
Bronco chase.
And my sister, shout out to my sister, I know she's watching. But she called me and she said, "Are you watching that?" And I'm like, what are you watching? Aren't you watching basketball? And she said, "No."
Split screen. They
Turned
broke into basketball.
and then
Follow the Bronco.
the next thing I know, it's on every channel.
Mhm.
And so, I mean, we were captivated. I was in Greenville at that time. She was down here in Columbia. And we were just on the phone on the whole time, just watching that.
The real question is this. So they're coming out with the Bronco again in 2020. So are y'all getting a white Bronco? That's the real question.
I mean,
I want a blue one.
just looking back at it when they did all the TV shows and the movies and the 30 for 30 about OJ, you can't help but not walk away from it. You know, that's like cultivating about seeing what
Well,
happened
this
back
is-
then, you know.
25 years later, we're still captivated by him.
Yeah.
I don't think you'll ever have a
You
case
can't,
like
you can't get retrial for it.
That's
It's
right.
the
No double jeopardy.
But they got him when he got for that paraphernalia.
Yeah. Well, he got convicted in the civil trial. So
Yeah, you go.
they're going to watch his finances closely and see if they can.
True.
If they get away to attach to those, they'll jump on.
Man, my final say. It's sad. The families, his daughters, his sons,
Yeah.
his closest family and friends that that really hold him dear, and everybody that's affected by it. But on the flip side, it's just I don't know why it became such a man. It was on every channel. Oh, this is on every channel. Man.
Every channel.
So I don't know.
Sounds like you wouldn't predict that have the channel or the coverage of what's going on was on there. I'm pretty sure ETV had it on there. So.
I would like to do something in between that realm and Kim Kardashian's family, somewhere in between. Not not that big that is and not so so trashy, but somewhere in between. I would like to do
Nice
that.
little balance right there.
Yeah.
Got you.
Let's go to the NFL. A lot of trades are going on now. One of the big ones that has happened within the last 24 hours. Minnesota Vikings gets Kirk Cousins.
You like that, don't you?
No, I don't. I really don't.
Why not?
I don't see him as a caliber QB that can take.
Says the man who.
No, don't even say that. No, don't say that. I do not see Cousins taking Minnesota to no daggone Super Bowl. Not no starter, not as a backup. Just stay right there in the shadows as somebody else takes over. I don't see Cousins doing that. He did with the Redskins at all.
Well, Bradford's
at all.
going to the Cardinals, evidently.
Bradford's going to the
20 million.
Cardinals.
That's good because they need a
Bridgewater might be
quarterback.
going to the Jets, but I just don't see this transaction working.
Now
at
these
all.
things where you need to decipher feelings and stats.
This ain't feelings.
And
This is
Case
facts.
Keenum,
I don't see that happen.
who could have been led the Vikings to great things. He's heading out to Denver. Of course, Denver doesn't have any quarterbacks.
That's good for him. I don't know.
Trevor
you really,
Simeon,
No.
Paxton Lynch, Brock
What were you
Osweiler,
watching?
Chad Kelly. You put them all together,
I
they still don't have a quarterback.
Yeah. That's a
Look.
fact.
What Keenum did with the Vikings, as for getting to the playoffs and going deep into the playoffs, That's who they need to stick with for the long period of time.
Too late for that.
Well,
But Dave said
getting Cousins
In a perfect
ain't gonna
world.
work. at
Dave
all.
said the right thing. Cousins got the bag. Your favorite QB
No.
did not.
They should have
It's a
kept.
fact.
No, they should have kept Bridgewater, and then trade everybody else. Kirk
Well,
Cousins did not.
I'm not sure how
belong
healthy
in
Bridgewater is coming off of that knee. So
Bridgewater was never
right.
going to start for that team anymore.
Yeah.
Once Case Keenum did that, it was
Well,
a
either
wrap.
Bridgewater or Bradford.
Bridgewater fell to third string behind Bradford.
Yeah, but
And
those are
Keenum.
Those are three good QBs.
Yeah.
They are pretty much stacked. One get hurt, Bradford could carry it. If Bradford got hurt, Bridgewater could carry it. He got healthy. enough
This
to do
this
so.
is what's making me mad about him. He's making a compelling argument for Bradford.
I am. I do
But
not see Cousins
Kirk
doing nothing for Minnesota.
Who,
And watch when the
under
NFL
two-
season gets started.
Under
It's
two
going to be like another
franchise
Redskins team.
tags,
Keenum-
with pressure,
Keenum needs to stay
has
as a
delivered,
starter, and Cousins going to be
and
second
Bradford
string or
on
third string.
multiple times has
No.
floundered.
I don't see
Listen,
Cousins doing
got
that.
hurt.
He should stay right there for the
question,
Redskins.
question. 4 years ago, would you have had this argument for Bradford?
No.
Nobody
Thank
would
you.
have.
So
No.
why is it?
But he's a backup. He was a backup. That's where he belonged. Kirk Cousins do not belong.
No, they tried to
at
sell
the
me
Vikings.
Bradford as a starter.
Well,
Skip
Bradford
Bayless tried to sell me Bradford as a starter.
Bradford
for
was
years.
a starter until he got hurt.
I don't see how.
He was the number one overall pick. He was going to
Yeah.
be the Rams savior.
He should.
But
they
he
should-
was the starter before he got hurt, and then Keenum took over.
I just don't
think
see
he should.
why Cousins went to the Vikings. I don't.
For the money. What are you talking?
Well, for the money, yeah, but
Cha-ching.
he can sit on the bench and do nothing. Keenum's a better QB than Cousins. I
We
can't
could
agree
see
with
it
that.
from
Okay.
Cousins' perspective,
Let's
but not from
let's look
Minnesota's
at this.
perspective.
All right.
I wish I had more time. I wish I did. I could talk about this for another 30 minutes. We'll come back. We're going to talk about the NCAA March Madness. We're going to talk about some teams that could be on the upset alert, some sleepers. And, of course, we're going to talk about the snubs who should have been in that's not in right now. So stay tuned.
They ain't going.
They ain't going. NIT.
You really
They ain't going there
said,
either.
you really said you could talk about Sam Bradford for another 30 minutes?
Yeah,
That's what he said.
I can talk about why
He said
Cousins
that.
do not need to be at the Vikings right now.
I'll be
They do not belong.
I'll be honest
no,
with you. Sam
no,
Bradford doesn't
no,
deserve 5
no.
full minutes of this show.
No, I just saying
5
why go
seconds.
to the Vikings when good and well Keenum's going to keep the starting role. Does he want to be a backup? That's what you want to do, or does he want to be a starter? Because believe me, Cousins not going to be a better starter than Keenum. Cousins can't even get the Redskins to the playoffs.
Hey, can y'all record this so we
Please
can pull this
record
up
it.
for
Please record it.
for the season coming up?
I'm very passionate about this. He just taking it for the money, which I don't blame him. Take the money, but still, if you want to be a starter, go to like the Texans.
A top 5 defense.
Go to Indianapolis.
A top 5 defense. A top 5 special teams.
I don't care. He don't play defense. He
All
play
they-
offense.
all they
What did
need-
he have at the Redskins?
Nothing. Nothing.
So you said he had nothing at the Redskins.
Yeah,
So how is he supposed to take it somewhere if he had nothing?
he could have done.
I'm just asking. I'm just asking.
Still, at least reach to the wild card. He even did that only once. That's it.
Well,
How many times did RG3 do it?
All right.
All right, welcome back,
They
folks.
disrespected RG3. with
Wonka
the
wonka.
Redskins. The Redskins is a whole debacle. They are like the second to the end.
So that's
to the
why he
Browns.
left.
Wonka
Why
wonka.
would you want to stay for
They
that?
messed up his career.
So why would you stay?
Welcome back to the Walk-Ons.
I really don't believe this. I don't.
Yo, he big mad right now.
I am mad.
Yeah.
I am mad.
His voice got a little higher. He was
I did.
excited.
This is a whole
It's not working,
debacle.
Daniel Snyder.
Huh?
He tries to put a Pro Bowl teams together. He
He
doesn't.
need to get
He
fired.
couldn't. He doesn't have
That's
the
never
chemistry.
gonna
He's the owner,
I've been
unless he fires
just-
himself.
I've been just satisfied if we went somewhere else than just the Vikings. I really would. But this is a bad trade or pickup or whatever it was. I really do believe so.
Look,
If he wants to be a
he's
second
had-
string, let him be a second string.
Yo, Titus, you're a
He's
Redskins
had
fan.
more
Tell
than
me how
20
you feel
touchdown
about this.
passes.
Oh, if Tyler's on here, please don't.
Listen, tell me how
past
you
3
feel,
years.
Titus.
He's
Huh?
had more than 20 touchdown passes the past 3 years. You tell me how many Vikings quarterbacks have done that.
Yippee
In the
ki
last
He does not need to be
20
at the Vikings. He don't. He do not need to be at the Vikings.
So I got a question.
Go somewhere else.
I got a question. We're gonna talk about March Madness.
The man puts
Yes,
up.
I am going to talk
Alright.
about Vikings. I am going to talk about
He
that.
puts up numbers, okay?
He does
puts
put
up
on those. Congratulations to him, but he do not need to be behind Keenum. He needs to be a starter somewhere else. All right, unless you want to be a backup the whole time. If you want to be the backup, stay with the Vikings. Take the money.
This is sad.
This is not sad. This is not sad. I didn't get through the whole pick six because I talk
So-
about this.
So,
this
What's on
Kirk
March
Cousins.
Madness?
so we're gonna talk about this game.
What's on March Madness?
All right, all right, I'm good. We're gonna talk about this in the last report probably because I just don't see it. I do not see Kirk Cousins taking the Vikings. Dave, I know you hear me in the background. You talked about this earlier.
You do
I do not see Cousins taking Vikings to the Super Bowl at all. at all. To the house, probably.
You ain't
Well, I got a
even,
question.
Madden
you ain't
Super
even
Bowl.
see Case Keenum taking them that far. So how you even?
Keenum took them far enough.
But
with
you
what
did.
they
Did you
had.
see that?
No, I didn't
Okay.
see Keenum doing
Well,
it. No.
well, guess what?
But they had three
You ain't
good
got to see
QBs
it.
to make it happen.
You ain't got to
Bradford
see
helped
it.
out in the season.
You ain't got to see it.
Case
It's gonna happen.
Keenum helped out at the end of the season.
got
I'm
a
pretty
question.
sure Bridgewater could have helped out too
I got a
if he
question.
was healthy enough
I had
to
a
do
question
so.
for you.
Yeah.
Do you see Davidson upset in Kentucky? Because I do.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Like, that's sign that you want me to talk about.
Yeah,
March
I'm
Madness.
just
All right,
saying.
Cool. So the NCAA March Madness starts this week,
Yeah.
and I got a list of some teams that could possibly make some noise this year. Davidson, who is the 12th seed, could upset Kentucky. Davidson, they are 3-5 versus top 25. Kentucky is 0-4, but still numbers are numbers. But Davidson scores a lot of points. They score about 80 points per game.
Give me that Kentucky team in December, I'd agree with you. But they're playing. You see the SEC tournament, they're playing well now.
And
They're
they're
really
a
a
lot-
well-oiled machine
a lot-
compared to what they were. These freshmen are coming
Right.
Well, a lot of teams improve in the end of the season, and that's from good coaching, of course. Because coaches, just like with USC women, they struggle near the end of the season, but they turn up when tournament time came around. Just like for the men's teams, they doing the same thing in Kentucky. They are more experienced in doing so, even though they got a whole team of freshmen. Coach, Kyler Perry can make that happen with that team.
Right.
So, yes, it's going to be a tall order for Davidson, but stats don't lie, of course, even though it's still numbers.
Yeah.
And Kentucky is pretty much
Sometimes they
still
do.
that.
Sometimes. But I do have Davidson beat Kentucky.
Florida State,
nah.
I don't see it.
yeah,
I don't
Florida
see it.
State, Missouri. I got Florida State for that one.
Yeah, me too.
Cause Missouri, they got some key players being lost, and they got one guy coming back.
Yeah,
but
they got Porter coming back,
Yeah.
and he's, he has a game under his belt now, and they lost with
They
him.
still lost to Georgia, though.
But
Mhm.
he was able to put
Georgia,
up some
who fired
shots.
their coach, Mark.
He was able to put up some shots, get back into, game shape, and he was out. Basically, he played 2 minutes the entire season. So, and he's going to be a lottery pick. So I think the guy can take him on.
I have Providence going pretty far. Meaning Texas A&M. I don't trust Texas A&M at all. North
Providence
Carolina-
beat. And what about the next round? They run into UNC.
See, I'm a Tar Heel fan too, so I'm gonna have Tar Heel fan, half Gamecock fan. I do not trust the Tar Heels at all in this tournament.
What?
I don't. No.
Wow.
It's like 3 teams with championship experience. You don't trust the team that's
Tell that to Duke last year. See what happened.
Duke last year.
Yeah.
They couldn't play defense, and they still
They got
can't.
they got more championships than North Carolina.
No, that team has been playing. You got a bunch of seniors that were freshmen when they went to the championship with when they lost to Villanova. That just recently went back to win the championship the following year.
That's understandable.
Yeah,
So you got
that's understandable.
Joe
but-
Barry III. He was the
Yeah.
MOP last year.
Yeah, so
And
That's
so you're
understandable.
bringing him back.
But I'm just saying, like, the inconsistency.
it's
does show.
this is the tournament. This is now first week is gonna be the crucial week because this is when you get to plan. Because after that, them games are gonna start coming like this. You ain't gonna be able to plan. You're gonna have events. You're gonna have to go to see people. You're gonna have to go see boosters. You're gonna be on the road, and the further you go, the worse it gets.
Especially that second game because you only have
Yeah.
2 days between the
Yeah, and then it
your
just
first and
and
second.
it just
You got 4 days in between that first
Well,
Thursday or Friday game. But that second game, you got to be ready to play.
But the only thing that could help North Carolina's favor, they do play in Charlotte. So that's home field advantage for UNC.
they get
Oh, yeah.
back to the Elite Eight at least. They get back. I mean, just,
if they can get past Providence, I don't see
I'm
nobody
going
else
to tell you
North
who
Carolina.
needs to be on upset alert.
Who?
This one sitting on to my
Of
left.
course you would say,
Oh, okay.
nah, Clemson good.
You
Clemson,
got that 5-12.
they'll be
you
all
know,
right.
Mexico State they're just not good enough.
The last couple of years, it's almost
When
been
those high
500.
seeds win, they're good shooting the three. They're only like 33%
Yeah.
from long range.
All right.
They're not going to have enough.
How far do
firepower.
y'all see Clemson going?
And veteran guards. can-
Sweet 16.
Sweet 16.
And they're
Until
out
they-
in the
yeah,
first round.
Nah, they'll win.
They could be.
They'll get to Kansas, but they don't have enough firepower
They made it
to
further
get
than
past
South
Kansas
Carolina.
without Dante Grant.
How far is Kansas going?
I think they're going. I think they'll play.
I think Duke will actually get them in the regional finals.
I think so too.
Yeah.
If Duke don't get shot, I think Duke will lose to Michigan State though.
This is my sleeper right here.
Okay.
Watch out for Purdue. I watched them throughout the season. I watched them near the end of the season. They can make some noise. They in a pretty much reliable bracket. They got Arkansas in there, Butler, Florida, and Texas Tech.
I got
Texas
them getting
Tech
to
could
the
be a good
regional
one.
finals and losing to Nova.
Yeah. Who else? We got NC State. They could probably do some noise,
Nope.
but until they get to Kansas, of course.
NC State, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I got them.
So who y'all got winning the whole thing as of right now
Villanova.
before we even see it?
I'll take Virginia.
Villanova.
Virginia
I'll go
versus
with North
Villanova.
Carolina to a repeat.
Woo.
Who you got?
Look,
Tony Romo.
we're gonna talk about this Kirk Cousins back in a minute. I'm still that's still in my mind as I talk about this bracket. I don't know. I like Nova a lot. I saw them play, but like I said earlier, Nova been just chilling. They just beating teams, as they need to, winning games they need to.
When you're used to doing it, I mean,
Yeah.
why am I gonna stress it?
The last time
making it work.
the last time they won the Big East, they won the national championship, and they had a similar route to get there. Also, when Chris Jenkins was playing, it was the exact same thing. And that same class, Jalen Brunson, those guys were on that championship teams as freshmen. So, like I said, they have the championship experience when you get to those Elite Eights and you don't have time to plan. You just got to shoot around. You don't have a real practice. You got to go back and go to the hotel to get ready to go to this dinner. That when you start getting after the 32 round, when you got 32 teams, that starts to play a factor more than anything. So if nobody the upsets usually happen before the Sweet 16, and then after that, now your true team start to emerge. After that.
Well, let me ask this: why is Virginia and Xavier not getting any love? They're #1 seeds, and no one up here has picked them.
I picked Virginia.
No, Virginia gonna run into Cincinnati, which a lot of people that has overlooked. They're both #1 and 2 respectively in their conference. Another thing is they still got to run into Arizona. That's one of the toughest regions that they have to go. So you got to understand you've been beat up on. And that also plays a factor in. That's one of the toughest conferences, and Arizona hasn't been 100% this whole year. Now they finally 100%. Now that just depends on if they click, if they don't. We do know what Virginia look like. We do know how they play against top 25 teams. So the biggest question is going to be when they meet up with Cincinnati. Who wins Cincinnati? I think Cincinnati comes because they can score a little bit more. And when you play against the ACC, it's a little different. It's prestigious, but that could go anyway. I can see Cincinnati win. I can see Virginia win. I just don't see Virginia. I think it's going to be Virginia and Villanova. I just think, but Villanova is used to making tough shots. At the end of the day, Villanova.
We got breaking news. So, in our comment section, Josh says, first, Marcus is being right for most of the night. UNC is not to be trusted. And Kirk Cousins is not going to take the Vikings to the Super Bowl. Might not get to the second round. And he's got Nova win.
I don't even say the second round.
Josh,
only thing about
give
that
it up.
No, only thing about that is football is injuries. So anything can happen.
We'll come back. We'll talk more about the NCAA tournament. We'll talk about some snubs and some more teams that also make some noise in the tournament. So stay tuned right here. It's gonna be my boy Josh.
I don't. Football is so one injury could take
forever.
Take you out. Philadelphia was just so great, and Nick Foles was just a starting quarterback 2 years before they drafted. So it's not much difference. I didn't see a difference. I think Kirk will be good for that team.
But David said Kirk is better than both QBs Minnesota got to the conference.
It's if they can stay healthy. That's all I say.
Well, I just see him going 8-8 all the time. I don't really see him in the playoffs. So it's hard to tell.
We talk about ability. The best ability I heard is availability.
He said Kirk Cousins
is a choker.
Choked their both chances in the playoffs. Yo.
Bring us back.
Gotcha. Welcome back to the Walk-Ons, everybody. Follow us on all of our social media on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. So make sure you find us on those. Visit our website, our new and improved website, www.freethinkersradio.com. And find us on our podcast on iTunes and on iHeartRadio.
Everything you see on the side screens, follow us on all those platforms.
Yes.
Right.
So
comment, like, share.
Xavier. Which bracket is Xavier in? Who? I think they're #1, but what? They're South, East. Which one? The East?
Yeah, West bracket.
West bracket. Who's in that conference with them?
Michigan, Ohio State.
All those. See, the thing with them is
UNC.
They got Xavier got the 4-guard rotation. I think they're the one with the 4-head monsters. They kind of play the exact same way as Villanova.
4 out, 1 in.
4 out, 1 in. And see, they're not as tall in length. They got one center. And see, they usually get in trouble when he gets in foul trouble. As he go, they go. And see, when you start running to the Ohio States and the Michigans,
that's what there would be. Sweet 16 matchup would be Ohio State.
You kind of run into that.
And then Florida State, you got big time length at Florida State. They always have a couple 7-footers.
Yeah, they're like the tallest in the nation. So my thing with them is, will they survive? That I don't think they will, because guard play is tremendous with Michigan. Michigan has great guard play and big play, so I don't see them getting out. I just
my key thing is the strength of schedule rankings, and by looking at it, North Carolina has the #1 strength of schedule among all the teams, followed by you have number 8 Kansas. They have the number 8 strength of schedule. Looking at Duke, they got number 13. Villanova has 29. So just looking at like who teams they play throughout the whole season can pretty much sum up to how they can play against those other teams. Smarter teams, of course. Usually they usually get by the first round against the cupcake teams, as I call them. But
back to Virginia. Virginia's beaten all these teams. They only lost one ACC game, one non-ACC game, 2 losses all year, but people don't trust them because Coach Bennett has never been to the Final Four. They say,
that doesn't
somewhere,
and just like in Arizona,
they're going to trip
people
up.
don't trust Arizona.
Same thing with Jay Wright with that. Nobody trusted them when they won, like they won, how they won. It's not about trust. It's about defense. Can they score? I look at, can they score in half court setting, which they struggle. They just, defense has prevailed in the ACC, which they beat up on.
Good defense leads to easy offense.
Easy offense. Okay, then what happens when they've lost, when they couldn't control Justin Robinson from Virginia Tech? What happens when you let somebody else get off? I forgot the other guy from the non-conference they lost to.
Right.
It's possible. So when
it is possible.
So when you got teams who they would match up with, I honestly think it could go either way. I trust them. I think they'll get to Cincinnati, and if they beat Cincinnati, they're locked into a Final Four.
I
really don't see
I don't trust them.
Yeah,
only because at some point in time you have got to have someone who can consistently put the ball in the basket.
Yeah.
And they can stop you for a while, but they get on to some of these teams and they get hot shooting from the 3-point line. Virginia is going to be in trouble.
Okay, but then if that's the case, Cincinnati, like nobody's saying anything about Cincinnati. Who can score? Who can score?
I'm not saying they can't score. I just don't trust them.
No, I said Cincinnati.
Yeah, Cincinnati.
What?
I agree with you. Cincinnati can score.
Yes,
I just don't see them making
I'm
it
just
to
saying,
the Sweet
I
16.
don't see Virginia getting very far. That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
You say
I can
what,
see
Sweet
Virginia
16?
doing it. I can see Virginia doing it. This got to stay consistent, which they have been doing most part of the season. They 31-2.
It's gonna be Cincinnati.
Who's knocking Virginia out? You got Tennessee, Kentucky?
No, not consistent enough. Not deep enough, and their guard play is horrible down the stretch of making crucial points to get the ball inside or making like key basketball. No, and that's the whole thing. Like your first 2 rounds is gonna be crucial for preparation.
But they did give Virginia probably the toughest range, and you got to beat Kentucky or Tennessee or
Tennessee.
Cincinnati.
Tennessee would be a problem for them. If Tennessee can get there.
I don't know about Tennessee.
So what y'all think about?
Tennessee's got to come through Cincinnati.
They've got the best player named Admiral Schofield.
Who?
Tennessee, that guy's.
They can reach the top 32, but when they probably play,
Man, they got to play. They got to play Arizona.
I don't know.
And that's another thing. They got to play. They got to play that Guyton kid.
That's what Josh talked about in the comments.
So like, if I feel like if they beat Arizona, then I just beat Cincinnati, and I got Virginia. I got Virginia and Cincy.
How far you got Arizona going?
Not far.
I got them losing to Virginia. I feel like their defense, but then again, it's like that's the ones that's like they got to play.
But one thing about Arizona, this has been proven for the last few years. Each time they able to get to like the Elite 8 or the Final Four, they usually find a way to lose, to not reach there. And I don't know, they got some type of curse against them to reach the Elite 8 or Final
like
Four.
Cleveland,
But yeah, just like
like Cleveland. Okay.
I think the curse this year is that $100,000 payment.
Yeah, that FBI scandal
Allegedly.
the one. Yeah,
Allegedly.
I really want to talk about some of the teams that did not make it into the
coaches back.
NCAA tournament.
South Carolina.
Yeah, South Carolina's one of them. Baylor, they had a split schedule of 22, but they went 17-14. Notre Dame.
That was a shocker.
St. Mary. They 28-5, but their strength of schedule was like 165.
Not in the
Let me give you 3 teams and a reason. Louisville, Southern Cal, Oklahoma State, all out, all part of the federal investigation.
Yep.
Yeah. Also,
I don't dig that conspiracy theory.
I kind of agree with that. They got a pretty good schedule. They got a pretty good record. Strength of schedule 15.
Yeah,
and
that's
they beat some of the teams they should have made it in, but
that's
FBI is probably one of them, of course. they deny it, but
So what about Middle Tennessee?
Yeah.
that
Conference.
See, look, I said this a couple
Louisville
weeks
just
ago.
passed on the NIT. They said, forget it.
Yeah, I said this a couple weeks ago, and about Middle Tennessee. I said they make it to the NCAA, that would be the team that would cause a lot of damage in the NCAA tournament.
They will.
Last year they made a run, right? A couple wins.
Mhm.
They got a couple wins last year. They could have easily done a lot of damage to a lot of teams this year.
See, that's the problem that I have. I thought they should have made it, especially over Syracuse. Now, Syracuse did get in, and the last time Syracuse had this type situation,
they rolled off.
They took off.
Now,
and so I think they're
and they're my dark horse along with Rhode Island, who a lot of people are underplaying. They got guard play and they got bigs, and they can score and play defense.
They got to get out the first four first.
Yep, and Providence.
Another team that I was not really, I want to say happy for them making the NCAA tournament, but
Clemson.
No, Oklahoma.
They deserve Trae Young.
No.
They had a lot of good ones early.
They had to.
Early.
If you look at the body of work, they probably deserve it.
Yeah, they had to.
They haven't done much for you lately.
I mean, I just don't see why Oklahoma should make it. I know they got Trae Young.
Yeah.
They can score points, but that other half near the end of the season, this whole half right here, losses.
Right.
Losses
you
across
look at
the
their
board.
resume versus Oklahoma State's resume.
They should have made
that Oklahoma State should have got in over Oklahoma. I mean, 2 wins over Kansas. Head to head,
that's great.
It's a wash, but they don't have that name.
But
player.
now that Oklahoma's in, I think what happened to them, second half of the schedule, you play everybody twice in the Big 12. The second half of the schedule, they got used to Trae Young. They were pulling the defense out further. Now you get people in the NCAA, they haven't seen him before. They don't realize the range.
Yeah, if he can get out the first round.
If he can get hot again.
But no, that's just hoping and prayer. And that was hoping and prayer at the end of the season, too, especially in the Big 12 tournament. I just like it. The NCAA selection committee is wishy-washy. Of course, everybody knows that.
Everything about the NCAA is
from
wishy-washy.
top to bottom, football, basketball, even hockey is questionable. And I'm saying this because a few years ago, Osaka was inside the same predicament. And I said this last week. They was inside the same predicament. They reached the SEC title versus Florida that year, or a few years ago. Had a great record. I think it was like 26 or something, I believe. I know the schedule was probably weak, but still they beat the teams they needed to win, and they got far to the SEC tournament. Yet they don't make it to the NCAA tournament. You got Oklahoma here, who loses, play beginning of the season and say, hey, let's go ahead and go on vacation. Let's chill. Trae Young, you want to take a break for a little bit? You can't even want to. We didn't have to win the Big 12 tournament. We're still going to reach the NCAA tournament because of what we did at the beginning of the season. No other teams can do that.
Being a Gamecock and a Harvard guy.
All right. Darius Rucker addressed that when he was on the show.
Thank you.
There you go.
But when we did tied for that conference lead that year, the SEC was way, way down. The Big 12 is right there as one of the top conferences in the nation as far as basketball this year. So I don't see that comparison.
Cool. Well, I hope y'all NCAA tournament brackets is good. So make sure y'all make some wise choices as the NCAA tournament.
Get in that Warren Buffett. You can win $1 million for life.
That's what I want.
But you have to work for him, right?
We'll come back. We'll talk a little bit of Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods, y'all. Make sure y'all stay tuned right here on the Walk-Ons.
Yo, Josh got to be on the show.
What,
he said Trae Young
what you mean $1 million for life?
You've made iHeartRadio the fastest growing
bracket right.
I think Trae Young.
It's that Quicken Loans Warren Buffett bracket.
I think Trae Young.
You have a perfect bracket.
Oh, good luck.
When he's a millionaire.
But has anybody ever?
Multi-big.
How many chances you get to make it? How many brackets can you make?
I don't know that, but you have to work for one.
I mean, that's a hard thing to do.
You're right.
What? Where you go to do this?
Oh, you have to work.
QuickenLoans.com.
You got to pay for
Loans.
Yeah, but you got to pay for the bracket to get
No,
in.
free.
I thought you had to work for his company. See, I think you have to work.
I could find a way to work for him for me.
Yeah, for life.
I'll figure it out. But half of these people are going to end up burning their brackets in the first few days.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'll do it, but I just know Villanova go in.
I see Nova doing it, but I got to look at everybody else. I really don't see it.
Tiger Woods, y'all.
Tiger.
I see North Carolina.
Nah.
Have fun with that. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Once again, follow us on all of our social media and visit our website at www.freethinkersradio.com and visit our podcast on iTunes and iHeartRadio. And also, if you are doing that right now on our Free Thinkers Radio app, you are listening to us live. So make sure you go ahead and share the app, download it if you can, and make sure you let everybody know that Free Thinkers Radio has this app going on, and you can see all the shows on the website. As for like the Tune show, you got Hufflepuff Sports Buzz and all that good stuff. So make sure you check out our website at freethinkersradio.com. Tiger Woods is back, y'all. He finished in the top 3 in the Valspar Championship this past weekend. I had a chance to make it going to the playoffs and such forth. One thing I took away from watching golf. I don't say that often, but when Tiger Woods is playing, no matter what's going on, I watch it. Just from seeing what was going on this past weekend, you can see that the excitement, not just from the media coverage of it, but seeing the fans just pretty much covering all around the area when the championship game was going on. People is actually happy for Tiger Woods being back. Yeah. Knowing that what he did in the past, of course, everybody make the stupid mistakes. Knowing Tiger Woods' status back in that time, to see what he did in the background, pretty much made him collapse his whole career, but at the same time, just to see Tiger Woods doing what he can do. And I understand this is only one tournament. This is only one tournament. He could struggle for the rest of his life from here on out. Yeah. But you could actually see a difference between what he did in the past when he came back and did good to what he did this past weekend.
Oh, he gave him a show, and that's all we want from Tiger. I mean, he was 2 shots behind going to the 17th, and you're like, oh, it's over. He'll never have a chance. Then he hits this long birdie on the 17th.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Everyone's like, my gosh, is he going to do this?
Always been good at what he
puts on the show.
Did he walk it down with the putter race?
But you know who was the happiest for him doing well? What? The networks.
Oh yeah.
Tiger is good.
CBS and NBC is having a party right now.
You know why?
So did he have
big numbers?
The Cadillac Ford that was chasing him?
Speaking of being happy, his ex-wife sold their house, I believe, for like $49.5 million. So she was saying she wants some money too. But Tiger Woods gets $572,000 from his top 3 finish. Patrick Reed and Paul Cassie.
I don't think he's gonna get the full respect from everyone again until he wins like a major. Like if he won the Masters, then yes, we can say Tiger Woods is back. Right now, it was a good game.
Been sitting on 14 for a while, still chasing 18 for Jack.
Well, of course, next week is one of his better tournaments. He's playing in Arnold Palmer's event, and that he's won like 6 or 7 times.
Right.
So.
And Phil won at 47. So.
Everyone's picking him to win this tournament next week. Then after that, he takes a couple of weeks off, goes down to Augusta, and you never know.
Yeah.
Listen, if you're gonna try and come at Tiger Woods and wear your red shirt and black pants on Sunday, I need you to not be sloppy. I need you to perform well. The kid that did that Sunday looked terrible.
I mean, he did good. I mean, some people can't wear it.
Patrick,
let it go, man.
He did okay.
Can you let it go, man?
What? I'll get back to that in a second. Yeah. They said for the media coverage for the Tiger Woods comeback was 4.5 times more than what it used to be. Of course, they still got Phil Mickelson there. They still got some of the other noticeables, Garcia.
Do you know some of the other noticeables?
I know Jennifer.
That's it.
Sergio Garcia.
That's it.
And some past.
No, that was a pretty good field. It's just so happened.
I know some golf people now.
Of course, he did well. Tiger did, but the other top players, Rory McIlroy, didn't even make the cut, so he wasn't there the weekend.
And they say he was going to be the next Tiger Woods back in the day.
Jordan Spieth didn't make
3
the
years
cut.
ago.
So,
What it was like 3 years.
No, yeah, I'm saying.
But then I think one of the funniest things that happened over the weekend was that one of the players said, "Oh, I just wish I could have played Tiger Woods back in his prime."
Yeah, right.
And David Duvall said, "Hell no, I played with him in his prime."
You do not want to play no Tiger Woods back in his prime.
I think the funny thing is all he got to do is just be good. If he could just mellow out and find a street, somebody have a incident like him, a Cadillac could chase them, and a club would find upside their head, or an injury here, injury there, and you find yourself winning a major or two. So he just all I got to do is just sustain his level. He'll be all right.
How much confidence do you have at your prime, though, when you're out there with a torn ACL and look over the field and say, I still can win this.
Yeah.
I mean,
and go out there and do it.
Tiger Woods is like the Beyonce and Jay-Z of golf.
Yeah, I was going to say, can you really say the game has gotten better or worse since he's left?
Oh, when he retires, it's going to go right back to where it used to be. I mean, Tiger Woods is golf right now. Yeah. He can sit back, just like he did for the last couple of years with his injury. He can sit back for another 5 years and come at Arnold Palmer age and still tear up golf and still bring a lot of attention to the game of golf.
For the average,
that's
but
how
the thing
popular it
is,
is.
the game has gotten better only because he was one of the first ones that really got into fitness. So now you see all of these younger guys these days, they're very fit.
Yeah.
You don't really see like a Duffy Waldorf or Craig Staller anymore. But you see these guys who are in the gym working out. And, you know, Tiger basically brought that to the game of golf.
Yeah. But
He did what?
really, really. But the Masters is coming up soon. So
Oh, the Masters?
Yeah, it's coming up soon.
Oh, the Masters is coming.
So we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to see
The Masters.
what goes on because
You going to the Masters with me?
Do you know how much it costs to go to?
No, we just going. I ain't say we going in. Driving right on through.
Listen, it's just like the Palmetto Classic. Anybody going inside? We just here for the parking lot.
Say you was there.
That's it.
Take a picture.
Listen,
I got
Just
the
roll
hookup,
past.
so I'm going.
Oh,
I
got
of
the
course you got the
we need to have a
pickup.
conversation.
This may be his.
If y'all don't
This
know,
may be
Gary
his
got
final
some
shot,
money, man.
so-
Gary got money.
Listen,
Yeah, I got money,
listen.
right?
I need to talk.
What's on the next topic?
I need to talk.
What's the next topic?
Well, before time was, I want to go back to this cousin situation.
Oh, man, we got plenty of
I
time.
want to end this because we got a little bit more to cover. First of all,
People left when you started talking about it.
I don't care.
We had
They
10
can leave if
people.
they want to because they know what I'm saying is true.
No,
if
it's
y'all
not
believe,
true.
if y'all believe
Why is it
that
true?
Cousins will take this team to the Super Bowl,
You know what?
Please.
The only person that we know
Please.
gonna go to the Super Bowl is
Please.
Tom Brady.
get some help.
Through high water, cheating. That's the only quarterback that's slew for certain going to the Super Bowl.
This is true.
Everybody else, we really don't know. Aaron Rodgers hurt,
He can still take it to the Super Bowl.
but he got hurt.
He got hurt, but he's better than Cousins that can take it to the
But he
Super
got
Bowl.
hurt. What I'm saying is nobody.
Anybody,
it's only one person.
And even what's the guy name that we had some time ago? Jimmy Clausen.
Whoa.
Yeah,
wow.
he's better than Kirk Cousins.
All right, so
He can probably take the Vikings to the Super Bowl.
that's
or to the wild card.
That's blasphemous right now.
His nickname is blasphemy. I mean,
Speaking
He's
of
not
Aaron
blasphemous.
Rodgers, Jordy Nelson got cut today.
So,
34 years old, getting a little old.
but he should have joined Cousins at the
It don't
house.
mean
But they're
nothing.
picking up Jimmy Graham from Seattle, so they couldn't afford to
Well,
pay
Seattle
both of
lost
them.
everybody.
I just had to end that before we go
Mass
to
exodus.
commercial break. We'll come back. We're going to preview the food tripping. Chris got another restaurant that I've been to. And also, we're going to have that support. There's a video that came out this past weekend of a guy pushing a guy during dunking. So y'all might want to see that. So stay tuned. I hit the Walk-On.
You got pushed
He got pushed in the back, yeah.
in the back. You got pushed in the back.
Oh, yeah.
Hard.
You got pushed.
Really hard.
Two in the ball, but should have been two in the ball and an ejection.
I just hate to say this. I hate to be the guy to point the elephant out. The Dearborn out in the room. It's because he wasn't tall enough. That's why he didn't get kicked out.
Well, we see this video. Go ahead and get the food tripping and the basketball.
Why you don't like Kirk Cousins?
I don't.
Because he beat your team?
No,
Dallas
we
Cowboys?
beat them. We beat Cousins.
When?
When he with the Redskins.
When?
When the Panthers played the Redskins, we beat Cousins.
Oh, you a Panthers fan.
Yeah. When the Redskins came to the Panthers, we beat them.
Why you don't like Kirk Cousins?
I just don't trust him. I don't.
You don't have to. You're not paying him.
Well, when this NFL season comes around, I'll say I told y'all so.
Because it's a turnover machine. This might be true.
Watch.
This might be true.
Yeah, we should have the full song for this one.
Really?
This is my jam right
Who this is? MJG?
here. Block Boy JB.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. Today, we're going to have food tripping preview. Chris goes to another restaurant down here in Columbia, and it's a familiar place on Devine Street. If you go to the Five Points area, of course, you got great restaurants like Yesterday, and you have.
Is it good?
Oh yeah, we've seen the pictures and videos that.
Enough
they
about
did.
those other restaurants. We're going right now. Let's just go to the video. I'm not even gonna tell you. Just preview the video.
Go ahead.
What's going on, folks? It's your man, Cali Chris here. I'm taking you today with me to one of my favorite brunch spots. It's the Divine Cinnamon Roll Deli. Multiple awards won, featured in every publication imaginable. They got giant cinnamon rolls, mini cinnamon rolls, loaded grits, house-made sausage, chips, breakfast sandwiches. Everything that you want for brunch is right here. So make sure you tune in this Thursday at 11 a.m. right here on Food Tripping. All right, I got a couple things to say about that.
We talking about the. Hold on one second. We talking about the same Kirk. We ain't talking about Rashida Kirk, right? Y'all hating on Kirk. Go ahead, man.
We're not even getting Rashida Kirk. Rashida Kirk out here tripping. Nah, but Cinnamon Roll Deli, thank you again. Shout out to Jody and everybody at the staff there at Cinnamon Roll Deli. They fed us well. Myself, my producer for the day, we took home God knows how much food. They just kept feeding us.
Wow.
Great food, great energy.
Word?
Yes. Listen, strawberry cheesecake cinnamon roll, bourbon caramel cinnamon roll,
Kept feeding.
Italian Godfather.
You know,
We
got
need the
that
rest of the
Brazilian
walk-ons to be walking in there with you
Listen.
next time.
I know it. What happened?
Hey, first of all, Chris, you know you got that text message from the church saying that we're going to fast.
I don't know anything about that. What I would say is, we got some special guests this week. Some of Columbia's finest are going to be making an appearance this week as well. So stay tuned for that on Thursday at 11 a.m.
Yeah, stay tuned for that. So make sure you check out Food Tripping this Thursday at 11 a.m. on all social media sites. Now it's time for the last report. This video was shown over the weekend, and I don't know if it's bad sportsmanship. I don't know if it's a bad play, dirty. Well, it could be. It is a dirty play. Let's go ahead and show that video of with that dunk. Go ahead and show it. Hello. There we go.
Breakaway. Bam.
Now, when you watch it up close, this is what you'll see. Now, I can say, some people might say, oh, he was going fast, but you can see in slow motion that he literally pushed him in the back.
Yeah.
Did he die?
And
As official, I see these not nothing nearly that severe, but anytime you got a guy breaking away in a vulnerable position, he can't defend himself. You get any kind of contact from behind, it's got to be an intentional foul because, you're just going to go flying. And, they got the intentional. They should have had an ejection.
I would have ejected his head straight off his shoulders.
They did call the intentional foul, but he should have been ejected.
Right.
He should have been suspended for,
the rest of
I
the
would say
season,
the rest of the
But
season.
just like Josh said, where was his team at?
Yeah.
Because he would have caught every bit of that smoke that day. Every bit of it that day.
Do that at Lower Richland or Eau Claire. That would be
as
the end of that game.
as a father, I would have been out of the stands.
They probably was shocked though, because who expects to see something like that?
Yeah.
I'm surprised he ain't hang on the rim and kick back or something.
that would have been a foul though, right, Robbie? If they hang on to the rim.
Well, if you're protecting yourself, you can hang up there. Yeah.
Okay.
And especially somebody going under you.
Yeah.
But he hit. If you look, he
We
hit
know who dunks in here.
He hit it really hard.
All right.
I dunked back in the day when I was 25.
There you go, Robbie.
Been a while.
Let's go to our next topic. Who else we got? What else we got for that support here?
The Lonzo Ball mixtape.
Ooh.
So listen, Lonzo dropped a 17-track mixtape.
Ooh, bars.
But his jumper has been off in the last 17 games.
Doesn't
So what I
matter,
need you
son.
to work on, sir, is this jumper. Because there's no reason that you should have a
Bars.
mixtape. Because the mixtape was trash. Go ahead, put that out there.
Man, the
Did you
mixtape
listen
was
to
hot.
it?
That joint was
Did you
hot.
We
really
played it a little bit out here earlier.
Man, you ain't
Megan,
listen, you gotta listen to
why
it.
are we still talking about this guy?
Because
Yo,
I'm
man,
sorry,
dude
but
can
I'm
hoop,
a
man.
fan.
I like-
I'm
I like-
a fan
shout out Lonzo.
of the balls. Now I can't speak about his game, but
Shout-
I can
shout
speak
out.
about
You and
their
Brandon.
strategies
Mhm.
and their techniques. He learned a lot from
they're
his
genius.
daddy. For him to come out with a mixtape,
Bars.
he learned that was something his dad had him.
I don't
Chris,
know.
how
Not
many
one
plays
bar.
did
But
that
he's getting
mixtape
paid big
get?
money to play
How
basketball.
many plays did that mixtape get?
I don't know.
Chris, you have no clue what you're talking about, says Joshua Boyd.
It definitely.
He's talking about
made it
the
to-
jumper. He ain't talking about the music.
Well,
Trust me. I know exactly what I'm talking about.
The
Music.
jumper is trash. I don't know what Josh talking
I
about.
can care less about Lonzo Ball and music. I ain't gonna listen to it.
Yo, son.
If I accidentally hear, I'll probably never notice this.
Son,
Oh,
it's
you'll
hot.
notice it is that bad.
Man, it's
Yeah.
good, man. Y'all hating on my man.
Tell him again. Oh,
Shout out,
next time.
Lonzo. Hot fire.
Sabrina Benjamin said that was a dirty play, definitely flagrant.
No blood,
That's
no
facts.
foul.
Yeah.
There would have been blood though.
No, did he die?
I'm surprised he didn't injure nothing because he was that pretty.
Oh,
No, he hit the.
Yeah, that's what I'm
luckily, he hit the pad.
Yeah.
I mean, he hit the
Yeah.
pad. So,
It was still hard.
shout out to him for not fighting him because I would have got ejected.
Oh yeah.
I got ejected on what your boy did from Duke. I'd have got mad.
Grayson.
Oh, man. he-
Listen, I
Hip
want.
check, come on.
Listen.
He'd
I
hip check
pray.
me.
I'm praying Grayson Allen gets straight. I want him to do that to DeMarcus Cousins. There's gonna be a body.
yeah.
There will be a body that day.
I would say this happened down here
Shooting
in South
over
Carolina.
40%.
If you listen to this on the podcast, down here in South Carolina, Lower Richland, Eau Claire, If that ever happened at those schools, and that
It's
happened,
not gonna happen. You can.
if it did happen,
It's not. Please, let's not put that on there.
Yeah, don't put that out there.
No, don't.
Please don't.
Too late now.
Listen, Josh said he's. Josh said he got
on.
facts. Josh talking about Lonzo shooting 40% from 3 in the field.
But the Lakers
over the last 15 games.
That's good.
But the Lakers are 7-3 over the last 10 games, so they improving somewhere.
Listen,
Julius Randle's playing.
You add that
Stop
40, he's
making
still
mistakes.
shooting 15% for the season.
Yes.
Boom.
Listen.
Facts. Read them.
Josh, did you get that?
oh, Josh is gonna have a comment.
When we come back, we're gonna have Coach Fry. We're keeping it real, so stay tuned right here on the Walk-Ons.
He's shooting 12% from the 3. 12. Shoot better with my foot. Well, pull up then.
Josh said he pulled up next
Pull
week.
up then.
I told you come to the show.
Clemson chat. You gonna do that?
Yeah.
For the last 15 games.
Yo, Josh. David's not feeling
Fact
facts.
check.
Hey, Coach Fry.
Hey, check your facts.
Yeah,
That's right.
Thank you. You came at the right.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, Coach.
Yes, sir.
I got witnesses, so I'm confident in myself. I've been a champion. I won a state championship, man. I'm ready to join the team, man. What I got to do to be on staff, man? What's up?
Every year you get faster. And every time I go fishing, I catch a bigger one.
That's the best answer I heard all day.
Yeah. Hey, yeah,
Clemson chat.
Huh?
We rolling Clemson chat.
Yes, we can play right quick. Well, actually, dang, we're supposed to play that.
hey, all I want is
We can start off with that.
I want to see you on the front row at the Carolina game. And the girls are playing against A&T, and they cheerleaders come down here.
A&T got some great yeah.
Be careful, boy.
I don't think y'all ready for A&T cheerleaders, so let's keep it right.
What y'all want to do?
All you brothers stay away from the back.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
It's all right.
Everybody,
It might be in the country. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Make sure you follow us on our social media on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff. Snapchat, Instagram. Make sure you follow our Instagram and follow the I'm Food Tripping Instagram to keep track of all the food tripping segments that's going on. Do we have time to play the clips and chat, guys, in the back? It should be loaded. If not, then we can play it next time. Then Robbie had his clips and chat episode this past yesterday, actually, and he predicted that we'll
Good
have
lead in to Coach Fry.
we'll have it on there.
no,
Okay.
no.
All right.
But Clemson is in there once again. NCAA tournament. I think that's the
I
first
predicted
time.
him to get to Kansas, to Sweet 16, get knocked out there.
Yeah. Hopefully they get past Auburn though.
Yeah.
How you feel about that, Coach Ryan?
No, they don't get past Auburn.
Have you seen Auburn lately? They got beat by 20 by Alabama now.
Don't matter. They don't get better. Next week, this time, you'll be crying. Hey, just keep it real.
Well, like College of Charleston might get Auburn.
They're not playing at home.
Hey, Coach, where you at?
Everybody, keep it real. They ain't playing at home.
There we go.
Hey, Coach.
Hey.
I heard you had a great weekend this past weekend.
Yeah, man.
Hey, number 21 in the country, the highest finish we had since 2010. But outdoors, I think we're going to get in the top 10, baby.
Let's
Yeah.
get it.
Hey, congratulations on that, Coach. But I have a question for you.
Uh-oh.
No, I saw this young man running. I can't even pronounce his name. You're going to have to help me with that. But finished 5th in the 200 meters, All-American. Tell me a little bit about him.
TT. Hey, TT is from South Africa. He
Wakanda.
Hey, South Africa. Hell, you know that's on the other side. That's where my home state.
There you go.
But no, he's been All-American. And last year he ran 20.1, and we're gonna be running next week at home. You get a chance to see him run. 200 meters is his best race.
Yeah, I'm going to come out.
See his run.
I'm going to come out and check that out. I saw some of the highlights, and I was very impressed. And I didn't follow him at all last season, but this season I've been following him, and I'm just seeing some really good things that's going to happen for this young guy.
Hey, we got a young lady named Olivia Abram who's going to take over the second quarter. You'll get to see her next weekend too.
Oh, great.
Hey, Coach, I don't know where you at, but
31 we got 31 teams coming to Carolina on the 24th next week.
Okay. Hey, Coach, the NCAA tournament is starting off this week. Have you picked out your winner and some sleepers and some surprises that could be happening when the NCAA tournament starts?
Hey, Rick Neuheisel got in a little trouble for doing brackets, so you might not want to ask him about that.
No, Carolina getting to the Final Four.
No, we're talking about men's. We know what the girls gonna do.
Hey, our baseball team is playing this week.
He said he will not be Rick Neuheisel.
Track team is running.
Good answer.
Good answer, Coach.
Great answer.
There's nobody in the state that is close as Carolina was, and so until that's right, we the champion.
That's right.
You got nobody is anybody until they get to be a Final Four team. There's only 21 Final Four teams in America, so hey, we wanted 21.
Right.
So let's just look around and see when somebody else in this state gets to the Final Four.
Lady Gamecocks got to go through UConn this year in Albany, New York, have they?
Ouch.
So that's gonna tough assignment for it this time.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
Hey, but we don't get them until the quarterfinals, do we?
Right.
Yeah, I think it's what the
regional
16,
finals,
it's
the Elite Eight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Elite Eight.
Yeah.
Well, I'll call that one when we get there then.
Hey, man, y'all, they really don't like y'all. Golly. That's dirty.
No, I tell you what, they're mad. This country's mad at that Waters lady and Don Staley.
I see.
Hey, that Missouri guy, I know he's mad as a mother right now.
Oh, yeah, they hating on her, so we don't come back.
Yeah, I think they ain't even reached the top seeds in the NCAA tournament, I believe, so.
What seed did USC get?
Number
2 seed.
Number two. So they reached the Elite Eight. They got to play UConn, Albany, and of course, that's gonna be a tough task.
Yeah.
They can do it.
It was a tough task in Columbia as well. So
yeah.
Hey, well, I'm this is the 4th year in a row. Hey, we've been a top 2 seed, and I'm glad the Gamecocks in. And that the big challenge is keep the games and keep advancing when you're supposed to advance. And Dawn Staley is an Olympic coach, and she may pull a rabbit out of the hat. So I'm not betting against my girl. I just don't want the officials. I want the officials to call a real game.
Nah, I can't. I'm gonna go for Don, but I know these. I'm gonna speak on that.
No, the UConn is the best condition of basketball.
Yeah, I got the NCAA. I got the women's bracket up actually. They have UConn and Miami's in there. Quinnipiac, y'all remember that team? They in there this year, but they won't get past UConn, of course. Duke is in there. Georgia is in that bracket. Florida State could be a team that could challenge South Carolina, and then you got Notre Dame in the other bracket, of course. But UConn's the team that they do watch out for in the upper.
Well, I'm watching out to watch North Carolina Central. You know, I mean, I'm with my HBCU into the NC2As and watch them get it done from the MEAC. And so I don't know, how you guys follow basketball, but I saw a great tournament watching them play Hampton University. So there's a lot of interest in basketball around the country in both the Power 5 leagues and the interests in the non-Power 5. The big thing that's now is who should get paid money. I mean, that's a big thing that's going to be going this week, and whether the athletes should be boycotting. And so there's a lot of political ramifications going on around the NCAA getting this $1 billion contract. So let's start sizing up. Is it the best interest of student athlete to go one and done and pick up the money, or those kind of things, which everybody not a pro, and one and done hurts African American communities. So I hope that everybody start deciding that that's not in the best interest. That everybody should go to college at least 1 year, so that kids won't start AAU when they're in the 6th grade wanting to go pro.
North Carolina Central and Texas Southern is tomorrow night.
Yeah.
That's going to be a great one.
It's going to be a playing game, so that'll be a team
you don't have to necessarily go to college to play basketball, to go to college, to go to pro. You can make millions of dollars and still enroll in any college.
much.
I get that. I just know that our kids and from a community where they see one way to a million is to not go to class and go dribble.
Yeah.
And you're going to have, instead of having the population graduation rates and the number of kids that are becoming something pro other than athletics will reduce, will drop. Everybody's not LeBron James.
I would just like to see how many of the kids actually go back after they've done the one and done and finish their degrees. I don't know what that percentage is.
Yeah, that would be
the one and done don't have to go back. I'm not. I mean, they made enough money that they can come back if they want. It's the person who think they're going to be one and done. It's the ones that never actually even attempt college that concerns me. If they get rid of the rule that you don't have to go to college and be one and done, then you'll have what we had for 10 years, a lost generation.
But that's why I'm in strong support of if you don't get drafted, you can go back to college. I'm supportive of that one.
Well, the thing is, the NBA only has 2 rounds, so I mean, there's not going to be a lot of people.
I mean, once you decide to go to the NBA draft, you don't get drafted, you can still make something of yourself in college, or go to the NBA G League and do stuff there. The G League needs some people anyway.
And
so
see, that second round is not guaranteed. Only the first round has guaranteed.
This is the one where you what is in your best interest. Your best interest is okay. If that's the case, then put it in writing. All right, we can do this. You don't want us. If you really protected my interest, then I'll go back and all 4 years free. Why should it be a year? Like, if that's the case, like, I'm an athlete. You want me to stay. At some point, you must have thought I was good enough or my product value is high enough to get you money. So at all point, I should be able to go back to school for my undergraduate, my master's, and my doctorate. Yeah. So if that's the case, if you want to promote education, well, promote it. As an athlete that has generated money for you, I should be able to go back and I should be able to attain every level of education if that's what you're promoting.
I agree.
No, I think that's incredible. Right now, you get to come back to college if you are legitimately drafted or if you get an agent. So you can come back and graduate. That's an NCAA law. So the president's committed. If a kid drops out after one and done, or if a kid goes to college, goes to the pros or anything, a pro track, pro soccer, pro anything, and they actually get an agent, they can come back to college and their college education be paid free. And that doesn't stop at an age. You can be 40 years old and still walk around on campus on the university's dime.
Trust me, I did that. Hey, but Coach, I have one question for you. And just off the basketball topic here, I don't know if you knew it, Serena Williams made her way back to the WTA this past week, and she and Venus played last night, and Venus took her out. So what do you think about Serena Williams making her comeback now from being a mother now?
She's going to make a great comeback, but it takes longer than 6 months after a child to be ready to compete at the total elite level. She's picking up chicks right now. So that
was just practice for Serena.
That's appearance fee.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, if she was saying she just come to Columbia to pay, and they were offering $150 for her to $150 for a ticket. There's not a place, and she played in the O'Connor Center. O'Connor Center will get fuller with her playing than it will with basketball team playing.
Right.
Yeah, Serena's well respected in the tennis.
No, you got to think that she goes down to Charleston every year to play. Is it Charleston? It's right outside Charleston.
Family Circle.
Yeah. And for her to show up, everybody, and that ticket is not cheap.
Josh said it should be a draft out of high school. He said it should go, if they're good enough, they should get drafted out of high school, and you make the decision. If you're good enough, you go to the NBA. If not, you go to college. But I mean,
well, what will happen is that nobody will prepare to go to college because it takes a total commitment. A kid will decide that I'm good enough, hey, go get him. And there's somebody in the street to tell him, man, look, the reason that you're not gonna get drafted is I'm not your coach.
You heard that?
Oh yeah.
I'll go outside real quick, make sure I ain't missing nothing. Oh yeah, I'll be right.
Well, Coach, we should finish this conversation on next Tuesday, all right? And we're back if everybody's on Facebook Live and on Twitter and YouTube. Thank you for watching tonight and listening to our podcast on iTunes and on Heart Radio. We'll see y'all next week.
I hope Clemson advances so we can talk about them next week.
Advance. I got them going to
Can
New Mexico State. They should get that one.
21 in the
Charleston-
nation, Coach. 21 in the nation. Great job.
Hey, thank you guys. Can Charleston advance and Clemson advance?
They would play each other in San Diego if
I
they
think
both
Charleston will
advanced.
upset. I see an upset. I do.
You think so? Okay.
I think so. I watched
Auburn's
Hey.
not only playing bad, they got their better players hurt.
We'll
so.
see. This is on video, so we'll play this back.
Hey, talk to you guys later.
All right.
Take care, Coach.
Thank you guys for watching, everybody. See you on next week.